So now we have the end weaving on our cinch on both ends, and we're ready to weave these little ends back in. And some people like to do that immediately, some do it later, some wait until they take the cinch off the loom to do it. It really doesn't matter, whichever works the best for you. So there are 4 cords here, and basically you want them all to go underneath this last lark's head knot. Now there are a number of ways people do this. The way I do it, and I'm not saying it's the only way and it's not the right way, it's just one way to do it. You can do however you want. So I go underneath that lark's head knot. This is the number 1. I have it just kind of stuck out of the way. And then I'm going to go back up through all those half hitches and pull it out. Now, some people ask me, is that enough? It kind of depends. Does it feel firm to you? Is it going to be a decoration, or are you going to use it? So you can either leave it that way, or you can go back down again. I'm just going to leave it that way because I've got all these other cords. Let me get this one out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. So I've done number 2. Now I'm going to do number 3. And again, it's going to go through that lark's head knot, that last lark's head knot. And then I'm going to go up through another one of these. I'm going to angle it over here so it comes up the next warp, so they're not all coming up the same warp. And this is where your pliers suddenly come in handy. So just grab your pliers and just yank it through. Okay, so that feels pretty firm. So I'm going to tuck that back out of the way. So I've done 2, 3, and now I'm going to do 4. And the best way to thread your needle is just to fold it in half over the end of your needle, and then you have a fold to put through. Makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so I'm going to do this one. It's going through that last lark's head, and I'm going to angle it also. I'm going to pull it just a little ways. I'm going to go through this one. And then I'm going to do number 1. So again, I'm going to thread my needle through that last lark's head. And then back up through some of these half hitches. I don't like to go through the same one with all of them, so just make sure you kind of move over. Now I'm just going to check. See, they've all come out a different warp. So I'm just going to check, make sure that they're all firmly attached, firmly snugged in there underneath all those half hitches. And then I'm just going to trim them off. So to trim them off, I'm just going to give them a little tug, and then I'm going to snip it off nice and close. And if you tug on it, then that end will kind of just disappear back into the half hitches. So again, I'm just going to give it a little tug, making sure you don't cut the wrong thing. So let's tug on this one and this one. Now all your ends are hidden, invisible. You have a nice finish on the end of your cinch, and you're ready to begin your design. So now I've just trimmed those ends off, and if you give them a little tug as you trim them, then they bury themselves back and you can't see them at all. Just be careful when you're trimming them not to cut anything you're not supposed to. So now we have a nice neat edge on this side. We have a nice neat edge on the beginning side. We have 4 rows of the half hitches across, and we're ready to begin our design. So join us for the next video, which will be on the edge to edge, the bars. So join us for that one. Thank you for watching.